Hi, my name is Pat Newcomb, Director of BenchMark Research at Fuse, and welcome to the first podcast in a series of 3 on our recently released National Accounts Benchmark study. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the impact of the due diligence function as it relates to national accounts. As we all know, the influence of home office research teams at broker-dealers continues to grow as more advisors are relying on these groups for portfolio construction advice. And not only are advisors looking at the model portfolios for asset allocation suggestions, but also taking a look at the recommended list more so than they have in the past. Similar to last year, the vast majority of managers rely on their national accounts group to cover these due diligence teams. As the chart shows, 68% of managers report that this responsibility falls to the national accounts group, which is up from 64% in last year's study. This is a natural extension of the national accounts group since the team is already interacting with these firms at the home office and have a deep understanding of how the platforms are structured. While the due diligence function is falling to national accounts on an increased basis, the underlying members responsible shifted from last year's study. In 2013, there were more managers that had dedicated analysts as part of national accounts instead of giving that responsibility to national account managers. This year, there was a noticeable shift as more firms had their national account managers perform the due diligence task. But it's really difficult for the national account managers to both manage the overall relationship and provide the proper coverage for due diligence teams at broker-dealers. Unfortunately, many firms just don't have the resources to employ dedicated due diligence personnel within their groups, and depending on the scope and size of the relationship, a national account manager might want to pull in someone from the product team instead. While many firms believe that the cost of housing a dedicated group within their national accounts team outweighs the benefits, it's still worthwhile to evaluate this structure. The flow of information can be much more effective when national account managers and due diligence managers are on the same page. When you have this function outside of the national accounts group, there can be communication breakdowns. One of the main factors in deciding how to structure the due diligence function in relation to the national accounts group should be based on the expectations of their distribution partners. National account managers are stretched thin with their daily activities, and it's not realistic to expect that they can manage the relationship while also having in-depth product discussions with research analysts. Employing due diligence staff can be an effective way to better cover research teams. This key finding is just one piece of our staffing chapter in the National Accounts Benchmark study. We also look at organizational structures, platform selection, compensation trends, platform interactions, time allocation, as well as metrics that firms use to measure the effectiveness of their relationships. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Once again, I'm Pat Newcomb with Fuse Research. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.